Okay, so we're going to go ahead and record today's session just so that if you need it for reference, we'll have it available for you. You can request the link. We're going to be covering one of my favorite topics, the Swiss packages. Switzerland is probably one of my favorite destinations in Europe. I was fortunate enough about 4 years ago to take my mom to Europe for the first time in her life at the age of 80, and we did most of the scenic trains in Switzerland, and it's really, I'd say, like a wonderful destination simply because it's centrally located in Europe. You get flavors of all the countries that are surrounding Switzerland. So when we first arrived into Basel, it had a very Germanic kind of flavor to it. There were quite a few people speaking German, and there was a German influence. And if we were in Lucerne, it was more like center of Switzerland. It felt very Swiss. And then we were in Montreux, and that felt very French. In Lugano, we felt like we were, getting that Italian flavor. So Switzerland is definitely a wonderful destination, and especially if somebody thinks that they may only get to Europe once in a lifetime, it's really a fabulous part of Europe to see, and again, you can get the flavors of all the surrounding countries just by being in this one centrally located country. All right. So the objectives today are to explain what a Swiss package is. We're going to highlight some of the benefits of a Swiss package, advise you what's included in a Swiss package, tell you what kind of packages are offered, and then how to book a Swiss package. Now, why would you want to book a Swiss package? Well, these packages combine train travel and peaks with a hotel accommodation. So it's nice. It's like a all-inclusive, everything's done for you. You get from point A to point B, and then you've got your stay all sorted out for you in hotels that are really wonderful. On my trip, I was fortunate to stay in one of the hotels that we do offer in the Swiss packages in Lucerne, and it was just lovely. It was centrally located. The hotel was beautiful. It was walking distance, probably a 3-minute walk over to Chapel Bridge, so it was really just right in the heart of the city. So it's nice because people who may not have been there before, you may not know which hotels are good, which hotels really would suit you best. And so this way, that's all taken care of for you. Now the benefits is that, again, as I said, the planning's done for you. The transportation and accommodation are seamlessly coordinated. You also get 50% off any additional side trips that you would be taking, so that's saving you money. And you get expert assistance from Rail Tour Suisse. So again, all of these itineraries, all of these hotels have all been checked out and verified so that you know that your clients are going to have the best experience. So what's included? You'll get a Swiss transfer ticket, Combi, so that's a transfer ticket, and a Swiss half fare card. So what that means is you're going to get the transfer ticket. That's valid from one airport or border city into one Swiss destination and then back out again. So that'll take you on either end of the tour. And then the half fare card will allow you to do that 50% off travel, any other additional travel that you're doing outside of your tour. You also get accommodation in a 3-star hotel, which are really, really lovely. And now this is upgradable to a 4-star hotel if you choose, of course, at an additional cost. And you do have the ability to add days. So the itineraries are flexible. So we'll have a suggested itinerary, maybe with 1 night in each stop. But if you want to spend some extra time in a specific location, you can add extra nights on, of course, for an additional cost. But it does give you that flexibility. There may be excursions included depending on a package, so there might be mountain peaks included with your package. And as I said, 50% off any additional tickets for options, like excursions to travel by train, boat, postal buses, and cable cars. It does include first or second class travel depending on the package, and it is upgradable from one to the other depending on what your client prefers. And then we do ask that you visit the extranet for specifics on each package, just so you can see exactly what is included in each one. So what packages are offered? We have the Glacier Express Tour, which gives you a routing somewhat like this. The Golden Pass Tour, and that's the Golden Pass from Lucerne to Montreux. The Grand Train Tour of Switzerland. That one's just elaborate. We just have a picture of a train. We've got the Rail Adventure, and that takes you all over, so you're covering all of those sections in Switzerland. Top of Europe and Tiflis, and then you can see here the itinerary there, approximate, and then the tops of Switzerland. Now the Glacier Express Tour, as you can see, this is available from January 8th through the 14th of October, and then from December 10th through December 22nd. They do shut down the track for track work yearly just to do maintenance, so it does have those times when it is closed off. And then we do have off-peak and peak times, and the reservation cost will vary depending on whether you are booking that in peak or off-peak time. And on this one, you ride the world-famous Glacier Express that goes between Zermatt and St. Moritz, or vice versa. You can do it in either direction. This tour provides 3 transfers for second-class rail travel, plus 2 nights in Zermatt and St. Moritz while staying at 3-star hotels. Now, in Zermatt, the nice thing about that is it is a car-free town, so it's very quiet. They do have like little electric taxis, but no outside car travel is allowed. So it's very quiet and very quaint. Zermatt is, of course, at the foot of the Matterhorn, so you have amazing views of that. And this also might be a time for one of those side excursions. We do offer the Gornergrat, which is a 33-minute ride on a cogwheel rail. So that's a train that has actual teeth in the rail that lock into the track, so it pulls the train up the side of the mountain. And from there you can get a view of 19 different peaks, including the Matterhorn. It's really stunning. That is one of the things that I did do. And then this one also includes the adventurous day ride in the Glacier Express train. You'll cross 291 bridges, 91 tunnels, and 2,045 meters high, the overall pass, which connects 2 world-class cities. And here's your itinerary. So you transfer from any Swiss airport to the border to St. Moritz. Now that's where you're using your Swiss transfer ticket. Then you have the night in St. Moritz. Then day 2, you go on the Glacier Express. That is an all-day event. It takes about 7 hours, and then you spend the night in Zermatt. And then on day 3, you transfer from Zermatt to any Swiss airport or border. So that one's pretty simple. As you can see, you've got the Swiss transfer ticket that takes care of your first day and your last day. And then in this time, again, you don't have to do this in 3 days. You can spread it out and spend some time in St. Moritz before you take the Glacier Express, or spend some time in Zermatt, or do some side trips as well. So it's very customizable, and it's very nice to be able to have at least the basic important part of your trip taken care of, and then it's easy to build on top of that. Then we have the Golden Pass Tour. This one connects central Switzerland and Lake Geneva, and this does it by the Golden Pass panoramic car. Traveler will particularly enjoy the Jungfraujoch. That's the tallest peak, and Montreux, famous for its jazz festival in July. And this trip is definitely unforgettable. This is one of the scenic trains that I did do, and I can certainly vouch for that. It is absolutely unforgettable. It was beautiful. Also on this route between Zweisimmen and Montreux, you are able to take what's called a Belle Epoque, or classic rail car. And that's an old-time rail car. It looks like something that you may see in an old-time movie with woodworking, upholstered seats, kind of real throwback to other times. Now, it's not required that you take that. You can take just a modern panoramic train all the way through, but that Belle Epoque is offered on this one, so that is a kind of a nice upgrade to that. And here's our itinerary for the Golden Pass Tour. You travel from any Swiss airport or border to Lucerne, one of my favorite cities in Switzerland. You spend overnight in Lucerne, and Lucerne is the city of the famous Chapel Bridge. I'm sure you've seen pictures of it, the bridge that goes out across the river. Very iconic, very beautiful. Day 2, you have a full day at your leisure in Lucerne. You can enjoy an excursion with a 50% discount to Mount Rigi, Mount Pilatus, Mount Tiflis, and then you're overnight in Lucerne. On day 3, you travel for Lucerne to Interlaken by the Golden Pass Panoramic. You overnight in Interlaken. And day 4, you see the opportunity to discover the Jungfraujoch, the top of Europe, which is included. It's also recommended to do an additional excursion to the Schilthorn and Rocherdorf overnight in Interlaken is where you'll stay. The nice thing about the Jungfraujoch, too, is that there are many different activities that you can do at the top of the mountain. So for most of these peaks, they have either restaurants on top or gift shops, or sometimes they may have snow tubing or skiing or sledding at the tops of these mountains. So it's not just, you could certainly go up to the top and just take a look around and take in the astonishing sights, or you can spend some time there and really make a day of it and truly enjoy it. Day 5, you'll travel from Interlaken to Montreux by the Golden Pass Panoramic, and you overnight in Montreux. Montreux, of course, on the border of Lake Geneva, which is just stunning. And then you travel from Montreux to any Swiss airport or border. So there's your Swiss transfer ticket from day 1 and day 6 there. And then the mountain excursions, as you can see, are 50% off. Now, Grand Train Tour of Switzerland. That's an 8-day, 7-night rail and hotel package. It combines the Golden Pass, which we just spoke of, the Glacier Express, and then the Bernina Express, which is probably my favorite scenic train. That one combines the travel on a postal bus from Lugano to Tirano. And when you think bus, don't think like a regular city bus. This is really a beautiful motor coach, very luxurious, very comfortable, really gorgeous. And then from travel from Tirano onward to Chur. And then the Gotthard Panorama Express, which used to be called the William Tell, so that involves one of the Swiss steamer boats, and then travel through the newly completed Gotthard Tunnel. And then the Jungfraujoch, that's the peak, the tallest top of Europe, and that's one of the tallest peaks there, so that combines all of those must-see Swiss trains and locations. And as we can see, on day 1, we travel from any Swiss airport or border town into Interlaken. You go there via Lucerne, and then once in Lucerne, you enjoy town squares, churches, and steamships on Lake Lucerne. Then you take the beautiful Golden Pass line over the Bruning Pass to Interlaken. Day 2, you'll have the excursion to Jungfraujoch. It's sparkling snow and ice wonderland access through the highest altitude railway station in Europe. Day 3, you're going from Interlaken to Montreux. Not to be missed, an excursion to Bern, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and home to one of the longest shopping promenades in Europe. And then you travel through the scenic Simi Valley to Montreux on Lake Geneva. Day 4, Montreux, Martigny, and Zermatt. So from Lake Geneva, you'll travel to Martigny, the gateway to the Great St. Bernard and Four-Claws Pass. And then you continue on via Brig to Zermatt. Then day 5, from Zermatt to St. Moritz. This legendary stretch includes a ride on the Glacier Express from the Matterhorn village to Chur, Switzerland's oldest city. And before arriving at St. Moritz, consider a trip from Chur to Davos. It's hundreds of serpentine turns and mountain tunnels. At 3,000 to 6,000 feet are a photographer's dream. And then on day 6, you go from St. Moritz to Lugano. Now, 2 routes lead to Lugano in Switzerland's sunny south. In summer, you can choose the Bernina Express train to Tirano, which is in Italy, and then a bus to Lugano. In winter, you travel by the Palm Express post bus over passes and through valleys, and then you don't miss a 1.5-hour excursion on the Centro Valley Express from Locarno to Domodossola, and that's in Italy as well, a spectacularly stunning route that includes 83 bridges and 31 tunnels. On day 7, you go from Lugano to Lucerne. And as they say here, a few things will take your breath away, like the Gotthard Panorama Express. Combines rail and a waterway travel. This 5-hour trip starts with scenic rail before connecting to a spectacular 2.5-hour Lake Lucerne steamer boat ride. And then on day 8, you travel from Lucerne to any Swiss airport or border town back home. Rail Adventure, this is available from April 4th to the 14th of October. It's 8 days and 7 nights package in a 3-star hotel, 1 night in Lucerne, 2 nights in Lugano, 2 nights in St. Moritz, 2 nights in Zermatt. And breakfast is included based on double occupancy. So if you've got 2 people staying, then breakfast will be included. And then here's the Rail Adventure itinerary. Arrival in Lucerne by train from the Swiss border or airport, overnight in Lucerne. Day 2, you're going to be traveling to Bellinzona either through the new Gotthard Base Tunnel or with the Gotthard Panorama Express. You change trains and continue your journey to Lugano, and then you spend overnight in Lugano. Day 3, you have time at leisure in Lugano. You can enjoy the Mediterranean atmosphere in the southern part of Switzerland, stroll along the lakeside promenade, or go up to Mount Bray or San Salvatore, and then you're overnight in Lugano. On Day 4, there's departure by the famous Bernina Express, that's a bus and train, to Tirano, Italy. From there by train over Mount Bernina to St. Moritz. And this exciting trip takes you through 3 cultures, from palm trees across the regions of eternal snow to the valley of the Young Rhine, and then you're overnight in St. Moritz. That is one thing that was really kind of unique and kind of different, was being in Lugano, you see palm trees, and when you go to Switzerland, it's just something you don't think of seeing, but it is fun that it's there. So again, you get the flavor of all of many different regions in Europe just by spending time in Switzerland. Okay, and now from Day 5, you've got the day off for excursions, and then the suggestions for those include going to Davos, Chur, or Saintes, and then you're overnight in St. Moritz. And then on Day 6, you board the Glacier Express, which is one of the great train journeys in the world, travel from St. Moritz to Zermatt, a railway journey across 291 bridges, through 91 tunnels, and across the Oberalp Pass at 2,033 meters in altitude. You travel in comfort through the unspoiled natural beauty of a landscape rich in ancient, fragrant mountain forests, peaceful alpine meadows, rushing mountain streams, and mountain valleys, soaked in traditions and centuries-old culture, and then you're overnight in Zermatt. The Glacier Express truly was one of the most amazing train travels I've taken. Absolutely beautiful. As Swiss really know how to do it with the engineering. All of their trains are electric, so they really understand that they have such a great treasure in their natural beauty, and they definitely take steps to preserve that. So, and take advantage of that. The trains have windows that go all the way up the side and often over into the top, so that you do have a great view of the beautiful scenery that you're traveling through. Day 7, you get a full day at leisure in Zermatt. You're overnight in Zermatt, and then Day 8, you return to a Swiss border or airport. Top of Europe and Tiflis. This one is a 5-day, 4-night package in 3-star hotels. You'll have 2 nights in Interlaken and 2 nights in Lucerne. Breakfast is included based on double occupancy. And then from here, Day 1, you transfer from any Swiss airport or border to Interlaken, Grindelwald. You're overnight in Interlaken, Grindelwald. And then you have an excursion to the Jungfrau Joch, which is included, and then overnight in Interlaken or Grindelwald again. You can travel from Interlaken to Lucerne on the Golden Pass line, and then you're overnight in Lucerne. And then on Day 4, you have an excursion to Engelberg and Mount Titlis, which is included, and then you're overnight in Lucerne again. And then on Day 5, you transfer from Lucerne to any Swiss airport or border, or continue your stay in Switzerland at your own request. Sorry for that, just had to take a cough break. All right, and then Tops of Switzerland. This package offers 5 days of travel through the scenic trails of Switzerland and includes excursions to 2 mountaintops, the world-famous Jungfrau Joch and Mount Pilatus, and 4 nights accommodation. Tops of Switzerland itinerary would be transfer from any Swiss airport or border to Interlaken or Grindelwald. And why they're saying Interlaken or Grindelwald is that you can go from either town. So you can either start in Interlaken, go up to the Jungfrau Joch, and then come back down the other side and end up in Grindelwald. Or you can start in Grindelwald, go up to the top of the mountain, and then come back into Interlaken. So that's why they're giving you those options there, depending on which way you want to go up and down the mountain. Day 2, excursions to the Jungfrau Joch are included, overnight in Interlaken or Grindelwald. On Day 3, you travel from Interlaken to Lucerne on the Golden Pass line, and then you're overnight in Lucerne. Then on Day 4, you have an excursion to Engelberg and Mount Titlis, which is included, and then you're overnight in Lucerne again. And then Day 5, you transfer from Lucerne to a Swiss airport or border, and then continue your stay in Switzerland if you decide to add on to your trip. Okay, so how do I book a Swiss package? Okay. And then I just got a note here saying that somebody is unable to hear me. I just wanted to make sure that you can all hear me. Okay, so I'm getting that some of you can hear me. It looks like most of you can hear me, and some of you can't. So you may want to check your computer settings. Okay, so we'll go ahead and continue on. Hopefully, if you have difficulty hearing me, you'll be able to tweak your computer and hopefully get that rectified. All right, so let's talk about how to book a Swiss package. Now, what you can do is you can go to our extranet, and you can find that information here. How to book a Swiss package? The hotel accommodation must be booked by email or fax directly with the company Rail Tour Suisse, and they're based in Bern, Switzerland. When placing the booking, Rail Tour Suisse, they'll select a hotel for the clients according to the category purchase, so whether it's a 3, 4, or 5 stars, you're not able to select a specific hotel. If the hotel requested is unavailable, the Rail Tour will offer some hotel category closest to the location originally chosen. When you are requesting information from them, make sure that you include the address, the contact name, email, or fax number. Please specify the name of the Swiss package selected for your client, the client's name, the number of guests, the room type, whether it's a double or a single, the date of arrival in each hotel, and then specify the town. The standard package is a double room in a 3-star hotel. There's no special discount available on a triple room. Single rooms are subject to the supplement shown on the pricing sheet. And then also you can upgrade to a 4- and 5-star hotels, and that's subject to a supplement or additional cost as well. The booking request must be sent to Rail Tour Suisse, and you can find the information here. You'll receive a booking confirmation back from Rail Tour Suisse within 48 hours, and that's 2 business days. However, most requests are handled within 24 hours. And then only when you get the reservation number back from Rail Tour Suisse can you book your Swiss package in Euronet. Now please note that this confirmation number is only valid for the Swiss package originally selected, so you can't use that same number and purchase a different package. You will be required to fill in this confirmation number before finalizing your booking. You can see that here. And now please, we'll follow the Euronet process detailed in this presentation. So step 1 is you would create a new booking. Step 2, you fill in the departure date and the agent name. And you select the Swiss package. Okay. And then you select the appropriate options, 2 adults, 3-star hotel, etc. And you assign the passengers. You validate the selected items and the passengers, so you make sure that this shows the proper Glacier Express tour, child, the class of service, etc. And then you can book it or add another product. And you can book additional items to the Swiss package as needed. So again, if you want to add an additional night at a 3-star in a single room or a double room, you can do that here. If you want to upgrade to a 4-star hotel, you can do that and add an additional night. So you can really customize this to suit what your clients want. Okay, and then click on Next to finish the booking. Then you enter the confirmation number that's sent by Rail Tour and apply that. And then step 11, you click on Finish. And then you select Print Now or Queue to Print. Now on every Swiss package page on Extranet, you can download the booking guide. These are what the hotel vouchers will look like. And with that, you can now successfully book a Swiss package. And if you need further assistance, you can create a case in MyRail Europe. And wanted to know if there's any questions. Let me go ahead too and quickly show you on the Extranet where you can find all of this information. So let me go ahead and pull up our Extranet. One moment. All right, just logging on here. All right, so to get to the Swiss packages, you would log into the Extranet, and you can find it under European Travel and Other Products, and then Swiss Packages. So for instance, let's take a look at the Glacier Express tour. And as you can see here is the map of the itinerary. You can find specific information if you use these little sidebars here. So this will show you the hotel list. So what hotels are included in this. So this will take you down to the hotel list. You can click on that. And here we can see which hotels are offered. In St. Moritz, there's the 3-star hotels, the 4-star hotels. In Zermatt, 3- and 4-star hotels there, so quite a few options. So I do believe that you can request specific hotels, but if they're not available, then Realtor Suisse will choose the next best option. Let's go back to the top. So as you scroll down, you can see it'll give you the details on what's included, what a basic itinerary looks like, what kind of specific rules there might be for child accommodations, who is eligible for this package, individual fares, so you can click here to see if it's just a single person traveling. Book the hotel accommodation, and you can click there. And then the information that's required by Realtor Suisse, how to issue the Euronet rail tickets and hotel vouchers, information to be entered manually on each hotel voucher, so that's something that once you get the hotel voucher, that gets entered in by you, by hand. And cancellation and refund, after sales information, and on every one of these packages, at the bottom here, it will give you this how to book Swiss packages. If you click here, it'll bring up that same PowerPoint we just went over with step-by-step instructions on how to go ahead and book that. So that is basically Swiss packages. Again, it's a really great way to see Europe and to be able to take advantage of everything Switzerland has to offer and do it in a way that's simple and easy, easy for you, wonderful for your clients, and just a great way to experience Switzerland in general. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to pose them in the chat box, and I'll do my best to answer. And I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you get an opportunity to explore and experience Switzerland for yourself. It's a really spectacular country and just beauty that is just breathtaking. It's pretty much impossible to take a bad picture when you're in Switzerland. Everything is just gorgeous. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them. I'll stay around for a few minutes. But thank you again for joining me so much, and go ahead, and I hope you feel comfortable with offering and booking and selling these passes. So thank you so much.